Hi, I'm Mandy Valencia, and this is Mandy on the Street. Today I'm talking about survival. What would you do if, without warning, you couldn't purchase food, water, or gasoline for 2 weeks?
So we could drink that water.
Uh-huh.
And food-wise, we have farms. So of course we go to our farms and talk with all of our grower friends. Except that, you know, we're all going to have gardens in our yards by the end of this year, right?
Yeah.
And what is it, gas?
Lots of tomatoes.
And
Yeah.
then
Take the bus?
Gas, I'm going to either buy or make a trailer for my bicycle.
Yeah.
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 And tool around in the woods.
Not too much of a problem. Food, water, if I couldn't get a hold of that, I'd go savage, and I'd stake out in Lithia Park, and I'd steal from people, and I'd feed off of the waste that falls into the Bear Creek.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd survive. I'd find a way.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't complain probably too much either. You know, but it certainly changed my outlook.
Well, for 2 weeks? That's not very long. I was thinking like forever. Like if society was cut off or something.
Oh, that'd be more exciting.
Okay, 2 weeks. I suppose 2 weeks wouldn't be a big deal. You just go, especially like this time of year coming up, just go find some springs up in the hills.
Yeah.
And eat, you know, wild greens and I suppose there aren't so many nuts right now. But lots of wild greens, maybe catch some little animals.
Yeah, some squirrel or something.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can get by in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks isn't a big deal. I was thinking, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, what if everything was cut off and society totally
Then we'd have
ceased
to
function the way it
organize gathering parties.
Oh,
and
nice.
And also growing stuff too.
So it'd be like like community food and stuff.
Sort of like a combination of like old style hunter-gatherer ways with new age farming techniques.
Okay.
To maximize, you know, and also sustain the land.
For community basis and like making your priorities set up, like how far you actually need to travel and what's actually necessary for your survival.
Local
and
food and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If like it came down to points where you couldn't support yourself on a larger scale, like if you didn't have like oil reserves or anything like that, you would have to. And so by that point, people would come together and start recognizing that we need to take more initiative to make our sustainable living within our little environments where we can get by.
Yeah.
Be more often and try to figure out what you really need to survive. Plan ahead in case it does happen. Get a storage of food, which is good to have. You know, if not, this is going to happen. Food and water are really, essential and basic dry foods and, canned tuna, I don't know, vegetarian, whatever you are into, it doesn't matter. Spend more time out in the woods no matter what and acquaint yourself with nature because we've definitely lost our touch with it, and that's probably the first key to surviving is reacquainting yourself with nature.
Hopefully we'd be smart enough to have some of those supplies on hand. But you don't really think about that until the time comes, so most likely we wouldn't be prepared. I think it's the bottom line.
And then what would you do? Borrow from someone maybe, or?
Well, I have a couple of extra pounds on me, so I wouldn't mind. A few days without food probably wouldn't hurt me a bit.
Yeah, you could get on without gas and.
Well, we have a couple of cars, so hopefully between the two of us, there'd be enough gas to get around. But it's a very thought-provoking question. Now that it's been asked, I'll have to think a little more about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.